All right, y'all. So, I know y'all heard by now what Coach Prime had to say about the turnout of the game. If y'all didn't, here it goes.
Coach, let me ask, despite the trials and tribulations that the city of Jackson has been going through, how about the turnout today with regards to the Jackson State fans?
The Jackson turnout was phenomenal. The Grambling turnout was pathetic. I mean, we always talking about we down for y'all and we good for the culture, where they at? And then when we get up by 2 touchdowns, they running for the cars. That's what I mean by the traditional mess. I get sick of that. Tradition. What tradition? The team get up on you, you leave. When we got up on Miami, I'm sorry, when we got up on Fam, the band dip. Right? Now, half the fans left. It's not tradition. That's front runners. That's what's got to change.
We're going to discuss this for a brief moment. And I normally don't do, live shows at all. I leave that for the rest of the channels. But if there was ever a topic for me to do a live show on, it would have definitely be this one. And let me just say that I agree with 95% of issues that Coach Prime speaks about. Whether it comes with the names on the back of the jerseys, the marketing, how you, expand your brand on social media, the money games, just everything dealing with HBCU issues, I agree with 95 to hell, even 97% of them. This one right here, I don't agree with. I'm going to have to side with Grambling State on this one. But his intentions, his intentions, I agree with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do see where his intentions are, because check this out, right? And I'm going to attempt to speak for both sides. As a head coach, and him trying to change the HBCU culture and how he thinks it used to be, he wants a full house. He wants he wanted the stadium packed, and he knew how big the game was. Hell, I knew how big the game was. That's why I flew out there in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Especially with, look, Grambling State is absolutely 100% behind Hugh Jackson. The Grand fam, from what I've been hearing, they are all behind Hugh Jackson. Everybody at Grambling, they believe in Hugh Jackson. They believe in him. So, if it wasn't for the water crisis, you would have saw a packed house. Now, let me say this. He didn't call Grambling State fans pathetic. He just called the turnout of Grambling State pathetic. I don't know where a lot of people was getting that from, and when Coach Prime called Grambling State fans pathetic. No, he was just calling the turnout pathetic. Let me just get that out the way, all right? I would have figured that we was going to get a real good game. I knew how big it was. Hell, I thought it was going to be a packed house. I thought the stadium was going to be full, and it didn't turn out that way because, now I'm going to speak for Grambling State. A lot of people from Grambling State wasn't coming because there wasn't enough reinsurance that the water crisis was handled. Like, I'm talking to a frat from Grambling State, in alumni, and he's saying he ain't coming because of the water crisis. And that was a little over a week before the game was even played. You know what I'm saying? So there was already people who canceled their plans on going to Jackson because of the water crisis. It ain't had nothing to do with them not wanting to go, because check this out. If the city of Jackson wasn't dealing with what they were dealing with, you probably would have saw her packed house. But then there's another factor to that when it comes with the Heat situation. And him saying that he was seeing that they were up by 2 touchdowns and he saw fans leaving. No, they were leaving at halftime. Like, there were so many people fainting and falling out because, for one, the stadium ran out of water at halftime. You had 3, maybe even 4 members from the Grambling State band fall out and faint because, for one, they were wearing them hot-ass all-black band suits on, and I even felt bad for the tuba players. Like, you had to carry that whole outfit, plus carry that heavy-ass instrument. I felt bad for them. And it just kind of seemed like they even cut their show short. Like, they didn't even march off after they was done with the halftime show. They just walked off. And then, probably no less than 2 minutes later, I see one band member fall out. Then 2 more heading toward the exit door. You know what I'm saying? So then it just trickled down to whoever was sitting on the Grambling State side because, mind you, the sun is completely hitting them in the face. Like, the sun is like right there. You know, so yeah, it was like 90, 95 degrees. So by the time, mind you, I was sitting on the home side and I'm going to sit next to Tyson's father and I'm going around the other side. Fam, there is a long line at every concession stand needing to get something to drink. Mind you, them lines was there the entire game. Like, I'm walking around the stadium, like, and this is like 15, maybe even 10 minutes before the game starts. I'm walking around the stadium, I'm meeting people, I'm saying what's up to people, and there are still long lines at the concession stand. You know what I'm saying? And this is like 10 minutes before the game even starts. So there might have been probably 200 to even 300 people out there, not even sitting in the stadium, because there were so many people wanting to get water. And I don't know how true this is, but there were people who were actually bringing water, and they was having their water thrown out before they could even enter the stadium. So I don't know how true that is, because I didn't try to bring anything in, but that's what I was hearing, that like people was bringing their own water and they was asked to throw it out. But at halftime, the stadium completely ran out of water, and so in the fourth quarter, a lot of us were stuck with drinking warm Gatorade and warm soda or whatever because they ran out of stuff. And I'm seeing people with ice bags on their back, ice bag on their forehead, people laid out on the floor. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it was so many people who was dealing with the heat. I don't know if they still recovered. And I hope they're doing well, because it wasn't a lot of medical attention being brought to them, because there were so many people falling out. Like, they damn near had to take care of themselves, damn near. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think it was one person who had fainted. They had to be helped over the walls. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was, I feel like I was in a goddamn Twilight Zone for how many people I saw passed out. Just me walking from one end of the stadium to another, it was a lot more of the elderly people who were sitting on the floor just trying to stay cool. But there were long lines at the concession stand damn near the entire game. You know what I'm saying? So and then I am gonna say this too, like, I didn't really feel the effects of it as much because, even though I hate the heat, I drink a lot of water. And I work out a lot too. So I could take it. It wasn't a lot of people who was able to take that heat. Especially 90, 95. Them playing at the hottest part of the day. It was hot out there. It was hot. That's why, look. The shorts that I was gonna wear to the game, I had to go buy a new pair of shorts because they were too long. I had to buy some Hoochie Daddy shorts because I wanted to stay as cool as possible. So I know the people who was wearing pants and jeans and long shirts, I know they was hot. You know what I'm saying? But I just seen so many people fall out, and I don't want that narrative to go out to where Grambling State didn't want to be there, or Grambling State don't travel well. Because let me tell you something. Grambling, like the members of Grambling, of the Graham fam, they was ready to travel. A lot of them was ready to travel. It was just with this whole water crisis thing, they wasn't going to take no chances. And there wasn't enough reassurance as, you know, if this was taken care of or not. You know what I'm saying? And then, mind you, I didn't find out till the week of that the game was still going on, because it was a rumor going around that the game may not happen at Jackson State. So I would have flew, you know what I'm saying? So I had to find out from Jackson State fans that, yeah, the game is still going on at Jackson State. Because mind you, if I didn't find out that the game was still going on, I probably wouldn't have went. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the Grambling State fans didn't just have enough faith that the water crisis was done, because look, they said it's bigger than football. We don't want to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't that Grambling State don't travel well, because I don't want that narrative to be on them. So I have to side with Grambling State on this one. You know what I'm saying? But I do get where Coach Prime was coming from, because look, mind you, look, he's focused on the big picture. He focused on people being at the game and supporting both teams. He wanted to be there. You know, he wanted as many people in the stands as possible. He just didn't see the other stuff that was going on. He didn't see the amount of people falling out. He didn't see a few of the band members from Grambling State had to take off all their clothes because they were so hot. You know, and that's why they leave. You know, and I also heard that too, to where the band left because the team was losing. Let me address that, because I played for HBCU all 4 years. I've been to many HBCU games, from MEAC to the CIAA to the SIAC. There is never, on God's green, there is never gonna be a time where an HBCU, where a band is gonna leave because their team is losing. Because if I'm gonna be perfectly honest, they're not there to watch the football game. They can care less about the football game. Like, the band is there to put on the show the same way the football team is. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have the zero quarter. They're playing throughout the game. They got the halftime show, and they have the fifth quarter. Like, so the band is playing for three and a half hours. Just like the football team got to play for 2.5, 3 hours. So the band is on a business trip as well. They're trying to put on a show for the fans. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, the band is normally there longer than the football team is. So half the band members could care less about football at all. Like, they don't even watch the game. They're not there to watch the football game. They're there to play. They're there to play. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want that to be a narrative either, because that's never the case. If anything, the fans are going to hear the band play more so than watch the football game, because I know that was a narrative when I was playing for my HBCU, because we used to lose a lot. Let me put it out there. Our team used to lose a lot. So a lot of people after halftime, they would leave because they was only there to watch the to watch the halftime show and leave, and then come back when the fifth quarter happened. You know what I'm saying? So that's never a case whenever a band leaves because their team was losing. That's never the case. A lot of times it's because something serious happened. And I don't know if that was the case for FAMU, but I know for Grambling State, they were hot. It was hot. and a lot of their band members felt the effects of it. You know what I'm saying? So now, I don't know if that's a testament for them just not having enough water. A lot of them just being hydrated, or how they train during the summer. I don't know what that entails. I don't know if they had water. I don't know, because I was sitting on the home side, and I know that the Sonic Boom, I know that they were giving out water during the game for them, and they only had one bottle, so I know they felt pretty good during the halftime show. I don't know what their band was dealing with. I don't know, because I wasn't sitting on that side. But I do know that it was hot enough for them to fall out and faint. So that's why they left early. It had nothing to do with the football game. The fans leaving had nothing to do with the football game. It was the weather. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just all a big misunderstanding. I think, because Grand Fam is hot at Coach Prime. They are hot. And let me tell you, I'm not mad at them for it. But even though, Coach Prime had good intentions on saying what he was saying, because, like I said, he's looking at the bigger picture. He wanted to see a full crowd. But, yeah, man, it's just all one big misunderstanding, man. I want everybody to just be nice with each other, because, like I said, I believe Grambling State will be back. They are going to play at Jackson State again, and this time it's going to be for the SWAC championship. Now, Alcorn looks good, so that's going to be a tough one. I don't know, because they have a legitimate quarterback, Aaron Allen, and he played extremely well this past weekend. He played well. You still got Andrew Body for Texas Southern, who beat Southern, which is a surprise to me. So, Texas Southern, Alcorn, I don't know, man, but I still believe Grambling State has the more talented team, and I think they will be playing at Jackson State, but yeah, man, it was just all one big misunderstanding, man. I just like, you know what I'm saying? Just make sure that y'all hug it out, dap it up, or whatever. Coach Prime, look, it's all big misunderstanding, man. All big misunderstanding.